Good morning. I have a very special guest today. It's Laila Madhani. She is the owner of several group homes in Dallas called Four Seasons Senior Living. She and her husband also have a private duty agency. They provide personal assistance service. So you are a competitor of mine, but we all work together. There's enough business for everybody. And
True.
Laila is a nurse and very sweet friend of mine and does a wonderful job caring for seniors in the community. And
Thank you.
I want to just start right away and talk about group homes. And I had personal experience. My mother was in a group home at the end of her life, as well as my father. I did not have such a great experience with a group home for my dad. I've talked about it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. But you know, he's in a better place now, so he's all good. But I want to talk about group homes. A lot of people hear about them, but they don't really know what a residential care home is. So I want you to tell me what it is and what led you to opening your very first group home.
Sure. So, good morning, everyone. And I would like to start out by saying that thank you for having me on the show. And Joe, yes, I see you as a partner. We hold hands together in taking care of seniors. So thank you. We started Home Care for Seniors. Actually, that is our one-on-one private duty company in 2006 when we first noticed that there was a lot of need in the community, even in our own families. There were many family members needing assistance. And then there was a point where they were needing 24-hour care and affordability became an issue. So we thought that having a place, a home-like place where few people can live who need 24-hour assistance, where one or two caregivers can provide care to them, would actually bring the cost down for the families, yet get 24-hour affordable care. So that's how we started Four Seasons Senior Living, and that is our residential care homes.
And I love the group homes. When I was a hospice nurse, I had patients in group homes, and this was before they really got more popular than they are. I think they're very popular in the healthcare professional community, but the regular consumer doesn't know a lot about the group homes and where to start and how to go about looking for the right home. So in an assisted living, I know sometimes the ratio is, I remember one night I filled in for a case at an assisted living. The nurse had 80 patients she was taking care of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there was maybe one or two caregivers to help. It's impossible to get to every patient
Correct.
with that kind of a ratio.
I
So
agree.
tell me, what is the normal ratio in a group home, and tell me about your service. And
Sure. So our ratio is around 1 to 4. And that way the caregiver is able to provide more one-on-one assistance. We are able to connect with our residents more at a personal level, and we know exactly that how they like to be turned and how they like to be cared for, what they want to hear, what they like to eat. So every little details we pay attention to, and it makes it better for the residents and also easier on the caregiver that they're not just running around down the hall taking care of them, not knowing even sometimes what their names are. So they become part of our family when they are at our homes.
That's one thing with our private duty staff. I always just reiterate, you've got to know in these assisted livings, a lot of the staff will go by the name the lady, the gentleman, but they have a name, and you want to be called your name. You don't want to be called Miss, especially when people are working with you so intimately, bathing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen people or some of the healthcare professionals like CNAs or caregivers, they're referring residents as room 304 or room 102. And that's what, I tell them, that they are not room 304. They are Mr. or Mrs., whatever their last name is.
And I do the same thing, and we're very like-minded in that, in what we do, and it does make a difference.
Sure.
And I heard yesterday that private duty caregiver agencies, it is the fastest growing industry in the country because there's such a need.
There is.
But it's not just something you can clock in and clock out. You've got to really be vested in what you're doing.
Exactly.
And I know that you and Mike have an excellent reputation, and you make sure your clients and patients are well cared for. And I appreciate what you do so much. How would you feel, Laila, that your group homes, Four Seasons, how are they different than some of your competitors? How would you say that?
So when we talk about other residential care homes or assisted living facilities, so usually in assisted living facilities, when people are there, they are requiring a little assistance with care, but with the disease progression, they're needing more and more assistance. Either it's assistance with their cognitive skills, mental skills, or physical skills, right? We are there to help them to the end of life. So if they need assistance with incontinence care, if they're falling quite a bit, if their health is declining, we will take them to the end of life providing care, dignified care that they deserve. If we compare ourselves with other residential care homes, I'm a nurse practitioner, and we are the only residential care homes in DFW area who's owned and operated by a nurse practitioner. And I've been a nurse for a long time. So when you look for a care home, you need to see that what is the experience behind the management or the leadership, and how they're going to be able to care for them. I make sure personally that all the residents are well taken care of. The communication is open between the staff change. Our staff to the resident ratio is really small if we compare ourselves to the other residential care homes. We are able to take care of people even on feeding tubes and catheters. So we can do a lot more than other residential care homes. We don't have any answering service. Even if you call us in the middle of the night, we don't have answering service. We're going to answer our calls and take care of the issues right there and then. And that's what you need, because, if you trust us with the care, if we are there to provide care to your loved one, they become, like I said, part of our family, and we want to make sure that they are well taken care of.
And they are. That's wonderful. And it's Four Seasons Senior Living. So now I want to tell you, sharing, my dad was in a residential care home. He had no money. He was not wise with his finances. And the group home we found was just the adult children could put together money and provide care for him. His Medicare number was sold to a hospice. He was not on hospice.
I'm sorry.
And I know it was awful. And I got a call from the social worker from a hospice saying, I visited your dad today. And I said, well, he's not on hospice. So I'm confused on this. Anyway, we did report to the state. We reported to the Office of the Inspector General. And I'm not sure what happened to that hospice. But anyway, I know that for me as a healthcare professional, that, we were taken advantage of. My dad was taken advantage of. And I know the ins and outs. So it's very easy when a family member is under a lot of stress, has adult children, high school kids. We really are the sandwich generation. So we've got a lot that we're doing and a lot on our plate.
Right.
And I know there was some news recently with a residential care home. Tell me about that.
So I have not done much homework on the residential care home. I'm exactly not sure what went on and what happened. However, I can tell you at our end that we are huge on our staff and services. So we have regular in-services in place for our staff to make sure that they are HIPAA compliant. Excuse me. All the medications are kept locked. All the narcotics are kept locked. We have, they have to count the narcotics every shift when they come in. They switch. They give report on every resident at the change of the shift, and they count the narcotics. As a matter of fact, we had a survey done for relicensure. So here's what happens. We are licensed by state, and every 2 years, state monitors us. They monitor us regularly, but every 2 years they come in because they want to renew our license. And they came in yesterday. They just popped in, and we're like, wow, okay, it's about time. They came in and they looked at everything. Like when they come in, they see everything, all the documentations, all the records, how's the care. They check the employee file. They check every single thing. And you know what the surveyor told me before she left? She's like, I am so impressed.
Wow.
You guys are so organized. And she actually told us that we need to be actually educating other residential care homes and train them that how to provide care and how to be organized. And she said that, I'm really impressed, and no deficiencies for us. So we are very proud.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's a big achievement. We are very proud in providing care to the seniors, and we consider ourselves, Four Seasons Senior Living, actually consider themselves leader in taking care of seniors in the community.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
My mother was in a group home, and she was on hospice, and the staff, the owner of her group home was not a nurse, and the staff was not educated on the hospice comfort meds.
I see.
And so I had to do some additional teaching and educating. The hospice came in and did the same. So it just goes back to the fact that you are a registered nurse. You do provide that training. If they don't know what to do, your staff, they're not going to be able to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And it just shows the leadership and the importance of good leadership. So as far as if somebody wanted to take a look at Four Seasons, but they wanted to look at a bunch of other, they just wanted a good variety of group homes to look at and residential care homes. What would you recommend? Who would you recommend that they work with?
So whenever we are, when families are looking for residential care homes or assisted living facilities, they are overwhelmed, and they are, most of the time, they're taking care of their loved ones themselves, and they just want the best for them. They love them. Everybody loves their parents. what I tell them, the way they need to look at is they need to look at the word CARE, care. Don't look at any other things. Don't look at bells and whistles and, how new this place is or how decorated this place is. And, you need to get down to the bottom of whether these people are able to care for my parents, my loved ones, my husband or my wife or my sister, my friend, whether they're able to care for them or not, period. That's the end game.
It's true. The appearances, the paint color, the curtains, they do not matter.
Exactly.
I know when I was a hospice nurse, I went out to visit a patient in a group home, and his daughter asked me, "Joe, I don't know what they're feeding him." And I said, "Well, you need to ask." But I happened to be there when it was mealtime, and the caregiver showed up with a little bowl with this gray, it looked like oatmeal, but I don't know what it was. So I said to her, I said, "What is it you're feeding him?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know." And I'm like, "How do you not know what you're serving? Make a difference. Think about what you're doing." And, as far as going back to being comfortable and you talked about how you turn a person, like somebody may have pain, ongoing pain in their right hip, so you know how to lift them and turn them a certain way,
and provide therapeutic touch to them. Makes such a big difference.
It does. I just think about, I'm kind of a light sleeper, and for me, just trying to get in a comfortable position sometimes is hard. So imagine being 80 years old or 85 and you have had hip replacement or you have a bad shoulder or you have arthritis. And so you've got to think of those little things, that can make a difference and make them more comfortable and their quality of life better.
Exactly.
So anyway, so Laila, how would you say the best advice on how can we protect our seniors?
So like I mentioned, you need to make sure that whichever place you choose, wherever you go, make sure the staff is qualified. Ask them how you hire your staff, what kind of training you provide to your staff. See that, what is the quality of the caregivers that are providing care to the loved ones. What is the condition of, other residents there. We make sure that whenever we hire our caregivers, they go through extensive background checks and interview process, and we call them in our office multiple times because we want to make sure that we are comfortable with them taking care of our own parents. We do random drug testings, we do annual trainings for them, and then we send them to, actually one of our home is, we have a trainer that trains all the caregiver, and at the end he's the one who gives up thumbs up and thumbs down that whether this caregiver who was training with him was, just sitting around and continuously either on their phone. Exactly. Or, they don't have that passion in taking care of residents. And if we even smell that, we don't hire the caregiver.
Same with us too. We're not, and just because somebody has 5 years experience at an assisted living may not mean they have experience. Exactly. They might have been a front desk worker. They might have been in the kitchen.
Exactly.
They may have not had a good supervisor. Exactly. They may have not had good training. And so you do have to see them in action. And what I tell families too, you have a voice. That expression, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Be there. Ask questions.
Exactly.
How did my dad do last night? How did he sleep? And ask your loved one, Dad, are they taking good care of you? How was your day yesterday? It's just important to stay connected.
Exactly. We actually have notes, small notes, which makes a huge difference to the families and residents that what needs to be done in providing care for that particular resident. We have notes which is shared by all the caregivers and then documented at the end of the shift whether they performed those tasks and took care of those things. So that makes a difference. Families can come and ask us questions anytime. We are always about process improvement. We're always about taking care of them. Like I've mentioned, Four Seasons Senior Living is huge on providing care. So therefore, before the caregivers are hired, they have to demonstrate their skills. They have to demonstrate it to make sure whether they're worthy of working with the Four Seasons Senior Living.
And it's your reputation shows that.
Thank
Well,
you.
We just have one more question. I know you talked about
Sure.
you've got a foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about your foundation? I know
Okay.
we've got our pajamas for seniors, and we love helping others. And you know,
So this foundation. It's we are part of that foundation. It is called Agha Foundation. AGA. The other word is KHAN Foundation. This is non-profit foundation worldwide.
wow.
Yes, and they are huge on taking care of people who are poor at the baseline poverty level. There are part of the world where you probably won't believe it, but people don't have money to buy milk for their kids. And kids actually walk miles in the river too. They swim in the river, walk miles to go to school so that they can get a glass of milk for breakfast because parents don't have money for breakfast. So this foundation actually has, they go and they build hospitals, they build schools, they build universities, they make sure to create jobs for those poor people who can't even afford anything for their kids so that kids can go to school. Their other countries don't have any child labor laws where parents, if they're not able to work, kids are there, 5-6-year-old kids working to support their parents and family. So this is a foundation that actually I support. And again, it's called Agha Foundation, AGA. The other word is KHAN Foundation. It's we are having a charity event tomorrow, and there we are participating there as well to support worldwide poverty. The goal is to remove poverty from the world. That is our goal. Even though, we are here, we are in a country where, yes, we have some people who are poor. We support them as well as people all over the world. They deserve care, and they deserve some attention as well.
And that's wonderful what you're doing. And
thank you.
My heart is just for the senior community and our pajama program that we do. It's so wonderful, and it's
Tell
so
me about
sweet.
it. What is
Well,
it?
we do. It's pajamas for seniors, and we
Nice.
we collect pajamas and distribute new pajamas all over the Metroplex, 13 counties.
Oh, wow.
And we have delivered almost 4,000 pairs of new pajamas to date, we're a nonprofit.
Uh-huh.
We just got a huge donation of summer pajamas from a company going out of business. So we
see.
have been working hard to get those pajamas distributed. As a hospice nurse, I noticed a lot of patients in nursing homes, the only thing they have are hospital gowns. Bleached, soiled, stained hospital gowns. And I just thought, you know what, these people deserve more. They have, we need to treat them with dignity. And we did, this year we had a patient, we did a special birthday celebration and invited all of her friends at the nursing home. So 200 people got pajamas. And
Wow.
we did a Dad's Day, Father's Day pajama event. We did a Mother's Day pajamas event. We have Grandparents' Day coming up.
Interesting. You go, Joe.
I know. It's really exciting. So we, and I just want to raise awareness to seniors that are in need. And a lot of these seniors that move into nursing homes literally have nothing. They have no visitors. 60% of nursing home patients have no visitors.
Sad, yes.
It's so sad.
Really sad, yes.
So just a little gift of love and warmth can make such a difference. So, and I know as a business owner, you too, it's so wonderful to give back. I just feel like you get so much more by giving back.
So rewarding. It is very rewarding.
I know. So thank you, Laila, so much. This has been so informative.
Oh,
and
welcome.
if somebody is interested in Four Seasons, what's a phone number or a website?
Sure. So our phone number is 972-584-9880. Again, it's 972-584-9880. They can also call me on 214-289-3977. That is my cell phone number. Call me anytime.
And that's me too. I give my cell phone number out too.
It's published.
Yeah,
so.
I know. And that's what makes the difference. We're like an ER. We're always open.
Yes, exactly.
I know.
So it's 214-289-3977. And our website is www.fourseasonsseniorliving.com. And again, it's numeric 4. It's not it's not FOUR. I don't know why, but it's numeric 4, seasonsseniorliving.com. We have our facilities in Acappella, Plano, Louisville, Carrollton area. And we just remodeled our facility in Louisville. And we are accepting new residents there.
Yay.
Please come by, visit us. If you have any questions on residential care homes, please feel free to call us, visit our website, or stop by and let me know you're coming, and I'll be happy to show you one of our facilities and show us how wonderful we are.
Well,
and
you
our caregivers
are. And I can vouch for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laila, so much. Good luck at your event tomorrow night.
Thank
and
you,
just keep
Joe.
doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.